too, Sasha?
Yes, you need to be bedazzling some dick. That's what you need to do. Okay, now here's what I want. Let me get 3 shots of whiskey with a Coke to chase. Coke Zero, though. I'm watching my figure.
Tina, you know this is only an hour flight.
Oh, well then in that now. And then bring me a shot of Bailey's once we get into cruising altitude. She about to turn
Sure.
Oh, and let me get a cherry Coke.
Dina, can we just bring it down a notch?
Oh, can we get some dick this weekend?
You know what? I need you to use your lady mouth.
I need you to use your lady mouth.
All right. Let's just use Lisa's version of Lady Mouth.
No, seriously, for real though. How long has it been since you got that back blown out?
I don't know. 2 years, maybe?
Wait. Since Terrence?
I don't know. I mean, I take a vigorous spin class, I read really intense erotica, and I invested in a very powerful detachable shower head, which has been very good to me, mind you.
Okay, that story just put me in the menopause. You getting some this weekend?
Straight up, you gonna get at least 2 dicks inside of you.
For crying out loud, Dina, we only gonna be there for 3 days.
Well, 3 dicks then.
You know, Lisa, Dina could be right. Daily penetration is medicinal.
Oh my goodness.
Don't be shy, girl. Every sister up in here is on a mission to be her very best in ratchet sex.
You especially.
Who's ready for Aston's Fest? See, Lisa, there is no toning down up in here, only the turn up. I love turn ups.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. I got this. Can you go ahead and make some Patron shots for everybody up here? On me. I'm gonna take care of everybody in first class because I'm everyone. It's all in me. Anything you want done. Man hours we need you putting in.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to Can I Get Some Podcast. You saw the thumbnail. We're going to be talking about girls trips today. First, I want to bring up my co-host, the lovely Miss Shannon. How you doing today,
Hey,
Shannon?
what's up? I'm all right. How are you?
You're good, good,
Trying to
good,
get
good.
adjusted here.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think we're doing okay.
All
So
right.
now this topic came about. I was watching another person's podcast, and they were talking about all the stuff that's been going on with the passport bros, and we actually did a show on passport bros. Might need to mute your phone, Shannon. Get a little feedback.
Okay.
But yeah, we did a show on passport bros, and everybody was up in a roar like, "Oh my God, these dudes are leaving to get leaving to find traditional women, so they say, but they're really leaving for sex and debauchery and all that kinds of crazy stuff like that." And one of the people who chimed in, and I wish I could remember which one of the content creators, because I would give them the props. I was watching at the time because I watched so many of them. Was talking about it, and a woman chimed in, was like, "Well, I take girls trips and we kind of do the same thing. Me and my girls get together, and a lot of times we are in search of, vacation strange, vacation sex, and so that's usually a lot of times that's on the menu. Like, nobody's not necessarily cheating on anybody or anything like that, but just like the video I showed, that was a girls trip with Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett Smith, Regina Hall, and Tiffany Haddish, that came out in 2017. A lot of women get together and they want to go and like I said, and kind of knock the dust off, should I say, in order to help like Stella get her groove back, get their groove back, so they can be back in the action when they come back to their hometown. So I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit like that. This won't be a super long one. This is just going to be like kind of just a quick conversation about it. Shout out to my man. What the fuck is this? All the way from Germany, and my man Tez LaFay. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, what you call it. So we're just gonna talk about it and get your opinions on it, what have you. See if there's a difference between Passport Bros and Girls Trip Girls, and you know, what's the difference? What are the different types of girls trips? You know, is it that where a bunch of girls get together? Is it, you know, some rich guy flying out you and all your friends, you know, to another country? Is that considered a girls trip? You know, we want to talk about all that. And the panel is open for anybody who want to come up. Feel free to cam up and come up if you got a question, comment, or concern. All right. So I want to just bring two more members of the panel up. First, I want to give a shout out and some love to one of our favorite panelists. She always got some cool stuff to say. Miss Polly, how you doing today?
Hi, how are you? Yes.
And my dog, my always dog, the cat who always comes up with the insightful shit that to say. He's always down for the cause. What's up, Diddy? How you doing, brother?
What's going on? What's up, Shannon? What's up, Natalia?
All right, so let's jump right into it. I don't know if y'all jumped on your hat, if y'all had an opportunity to see the clip. Oh, before you go, anybody who hasn't already, make sure you like and subscribe and share this video. So if you think somebody else would like our content, make sure you get in. You do that. All right. All right. So you got it. You. I think you need to mute yourself. There you go, Diddy. All right. So. What do you have you ever been on a girl trip? I'm gonna talk to the ladies first. Shannon, have you ever been on a girl trip where you and a bunch of girls decide to take a trip somewhere and just have some fun? One or two, doesn't matter how many.
Off the top of my head, I can only think of one time where there was a girls' trip that involved fun. It was for my sister's birthday. We went to Vegas, and honestly, none of that type of stuff was on either of our minds. What ended up happening is we ended up banging with each other, like, you know,
fighting with each other,
like fighting, bickering, arguing, differences of opinions, you know, stuff like that. But, you know, the focus was not on people of the opposite sex at all. It was her birthday, so, you know,
okay,
I was kind of like what the focus was.
Were all of y'all in relationships?
I don't think. I know she wasn't. A couple of I think only one person was in a relationship, and she had actually brought her significant other with her.
Gotcha.
To Las Vegas. Yeah. So, but you know, I guess when it comes to a girls trip, it just kind of depends on who you hanging with. You know, the girls are, you know, the people on that trip are pretty conservative. And then, like I said, the focus was her birthday. I can recall going on other trips with women, but it was business. You know, I mean, it's no secret that I used to be a dancer. So, you know, quite often we would take trips out of town, you know, to make money. And again, it always ended up being like some drama or some cattiness amongst the women. It was never a situation. I've never experienced a situation where, you know, it was like some Passport Bros type stuff. I mean, I think Jen weighed in earlier, you know, as women, we really don't have to go out of town to do stuff like that. So,
I mean, there's a lot of times where it's like, you kind of don't want to, you've been dealing with the same situation. You kind of want to get away. And like there's a lot of conservative women who decide they don't want to be judged in their town. So they go to these trips and then they can open up and kind of like expand their horizons. It's like, I think there's a lot of that going on. But let me ask Miss Polly the same question. Miss Polly, what about you? Have you ever taken a trip with a bunch of girls or one or two girls and for fun and hooking up was like not necessarily on the menu, but nobody was against it if it happened?
I will say that no. No. Like you said, it's always intentional. It's always if it's going to be like, hey, we're going to go meet someone, or like, you know, I met a guy and then we could go visit them for the first time or something like that. It was intentional. It wasn't like, oh, we were just out here having fun and I accidentally fell on fell on somebody's stuff over and over
Fell on the
again.
dick.
Yeah,
But we
I
got-
didn't fall on penis accidentally ever. No, that has not happened. So, yeah,
Let
I
me-
think
let
that's
me-
never.
All right. Well, man, what the fuck said, but I know they took blood oaths and promised to take secrets to their grave. So he's wondering if women will even like be honest about it. Because women are like different from men. Men feel like we got big mouths, so we need to go tell everybody. Women will take that shit to the grave. Let me see what he say next. Let me know when you want to speak to men overseas. It's hilarious that so many people have thoughts about us but never spoke to anyone. Okay. So I guess, yeah, because he's in Germany. And TJ says, so you guys are planning the trip. Dick was never part of the equation. I guess not. What about you? Oh, go ahead.
I mean, I would think that if you are single, your intent is to go out there and have a good time. And if you know, dancing with guys, you may hook up with someone. I could see that being something that, okay, we're just having a good time. I meet somebody. It's not, you know, I can see that. But being like, we're going to secretly plan a trip under this so we can disguise that we want to jump on penis. I don't know if that is any woman's real goal, you know. So yeah, let's plan a trip so we can just go pretend we're not sleeping with everybody.
Okay.
No, I don't need to do that.
So like you, Diddy, what do you think? What do you think? Have you heard of girls or do you believe that girls are planning trips and are just kind of like, you know, with no expectation that they might try to hook up with cats?
No, I think that there's always a hoe in the group. It might be certain ones, but it's always one who pushes the envelope. And you know that girl because you hate your girl being around that girl. Like, boy, that's the one. You the one that's always trying to get over. You don't want to see her making moves or her dude. So you like, I know what she's telling my girl when they're around. You know what I'm saying? Like, it definitely exists. I mean, that's what, you know, listen, go to Jamaica. There's a plane full of them right there looking for whatever they're looking for. And as Ms. Polly said, ain't nobody slipping and falling on penis, you know, so over and over again. They come out there with an MO. I see it when I went to Jamaica. I just got off from Montego Bay. It was a whole plane on Spirit full of chicks over there to make moves. You could see it. It was clear as day, but no men in sight. You hear the conversations on the plane of what's about to happen. So trust and believe, they do the same thing.
TJ said, I was stationed in Hawaii. I met a lot of women in Hawaii that wanted some quick island dick before they went home. We were stationed in Hawaii together, and I can vouch that is a very true statement. That it was some women coming on vacation that was just looking to get some island dick before they came home.
Polynesian penis?
or military penis, one of the two. You know? It's just funny because like we've all heard about women going to Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Cuba to find all these cats that, you know, Eddie Murphy did a whole a part of his comedy show talking about women going to Jamaica, and Dexter St. Jock is there, and you're in a fucking a local or what have you. It's women who it's like you said, did he exclusively go there for that, and a lot of them are conservative women who don't want to be judged inside their city, like I said, so they go to those places so they can like just wild the fuck out and with free of judgment. I mean that absolutely happens. I'm a firm believer in that. What are you guys' opinion on that? I'm gonna go with you, Shannon, because I know you've probably heard of female sexual tourism. You're muted, Shannon.
I actually haven't heard of that.
You haven't?
No, I don't doubt that it happens. I mean, I haven't heard of everything. I don't know everything, but I don't doubt that it happens. But that's just not something that I've ever heard of.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure it happens. I have to wonder, like, what do these women look like? You know, what's going, I mean, just because me personally, when I go out of town, I don't know, I think that's kind of like what I want to get away from. I want to get away from the guys. Like if I'm gonna have a girl trip, it's just like I want to get away from men. I want to kind of, avoid men. I'm not gonna spend thousands of dollars to go on vacation to try to get with men. Like, because I mean that happens every day. I can just go to the gas station and someone's, offering to pump my gas and pay for my gas, shit like that. So, me personally, it's just something that I've never, I don't hear about that. Now, men, of course, all the time. Like men, I've definitely heard of men making it a point. Like that's the whole point of going to some of these islands, you know what I'm saying? To get girls that, and they pay and they pay cheap. Okay. And they can get the whole, girlfriend, wife experience, multiple days, multiple weeks. But to answer your question, no, I've never really heard of that as far as women.
What about you, Miss Polly?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely heard about it. I didn't heard about it. I think because, like she said, if you not in that mind frame or that's not where your focus is, you're not going to hear about it. But I mean, I just I research a lot of stuff. It's just ridiculous that nobody wants to know anyway. So, I mean, there are women who, like you said, older white women with money. They may want to have an experience and not be judged, and they'll go to Africa. There's like we were just talking about, like going to Africa and having sex with Black men just to have the experience. Women who are bigger, they may go to like places where they think that bigger women are more accepted. Jamaica is one of those places. So they may feel more confident in that scenario and more accepted, and then they may want to do that. Not saying anyone who then would want to go, but I think it has a lot to do with the fact that in America we judge women so harshly on their sexual interactions. They do. People judge them about it all the time, and so they hide it in secret, and they will go on trips to have sex or in the lieu of being here and being judged. That makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. Because
Okay. Just one more part, because I didn't know if you heard
Go ahead.
that. People do this in bigger cities all the time. I live in Florida, and Orlando is one of the places I used to go to for partying. And I mean, I know for a fact girls purposely went out of town to go into clubs, to dance and get banged in clubs and never see the person again, because people come in and out that place so much. You could see someone and never see them again in your life. So women do it. I mean, not that you should do it, but there's women who do it. And they will do it for the particular person who, they're prostitutes, guys. They're prostitutes. They're male prostitutes, and they'll give you the experience you want for your, for your money.
They make you feel like you Beyonce up in that motherfucker. Huh?
Yeah, take real good care of you for a whole week.
So what do these women look like though? Because I just can't imagine like a hot 21-year-old. Okay.
Well, they're not doing it. They don't have the money. Most of the time, they don't have the money to do it.
Yeah, these are going to be the most attractive women.
I wouldn't say it's not attractive women. I will say it's the experience, because even women here who are very attractive don't always get the men that they, or the kind of attention or the kind of chivalry that they want from the men here. So you go somewhere where you could pay someone to treat you like a queen. And I'm not saying I would do it. I'm just saying it's there, if that makes sense.
So I'm curious. So there seems to be
Dang, froze. Oh, he froze.
I'm back. Yeah, so
damn, you got rolled.
It's like no. And the funny thing, I just bought a signal booster to like do that. So that's why I can switch channels real quick. So I got like 4 different channels I can switch to if one starts acting up. So, but yeah, like I was saying, there's like a stigma and there's this kind of like backlash of men doing it, but women, it's been kind of quiet as kept. And there's not a significant amount of backlash for women doing it as there been recently for men, because women have been doing it just as long as men have, but it just seems like men, are getting significant amount of backlash. Is it just now because it's brothers out there doing it and putting it out on display? Why is it that there's the backlash? It's kind of that one-sided backlash when it comes to taking these trips out there with your girls to get this experience, as you like to call it, Miss Polly.
I do. It's an experience.
You know?
I think of the men, yeah, they're making it seem like it's like, okay, it's kind of being thrown in their faces like, well, if you don't give me what I want, I'll go get it over there. You don't see women going, well, if you don't give me what I want, I'll run over there. You don't get that. You're not going to get that. And then, like I said, there's shaming. We have a lot of shaming when it comes to body counts and things like that. So no one's really honest with that. So if they were to say, yeah, I go on trips and I get, I fall on penis era, once every year, that's not something that women are going to brag about. And it's probably quietly kept because women are all in the same situation. You don't want to be called a hoe. You don't want to not find a husband because your body count is a certain number. So let's keep it quiet. Women bond together in those moments. Men are kind of okay. They have permission by society to be hoes. So it doesn't matter if you're a hoe. Yeah, you're fine if you're a hoe. You can screw the hoe. You can screw everybody, and you will still be able to get married.
And the funny thing is, like, women can screw everybody and still get married. They just can't marry nobody in their city. They need to move. I know plenty of women who have like ran through a lot of dudes. I'm not even going to go the other way and say they've been ran through a lot of dudes and left their town, and they are happily married in the church, like, with kids and everything. You would never know about their past. I see them because I'm friends with them on Instagram. I'm like, girl, like, I remember when you was on your knees for a whole different reason back in the day, and hey, I just want to show some love too real quick. We got my man Tristan in the house. What's up, Tristan? Man, I was on one of Jen's panels. It was called you heard about Freaks and Frauds. And Tristan had everybody cracking up. This fool is a genius when it comes to, he's a comedic genius when it comes to timing when it comes on that show. It was just the best. And I also got to give some love to, always got to show love to the ladies of Creating Anarchy. They come up and they represent hard. They were on Jen's panel as well, and they represented hard. They're going to have a show about paranormal activity with a paranormal specialist tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. So you definitely got to check that out. I'm sure it's going to be live. All right.
You guys put your information in the chat. I'd like to check that out. That'd be cool to look at.
Yeah, it's just IG creating.anarchy on IG. So we'll put it in there. I'll make sure you get it. All right. So, but yeah,
let me just, I think part of the reason why men get such a bad rap is because of the whole exploitation aspect of it. The whole idea that men are flying to other countries to pay for sex and pay a lot cheaper than they would have to pay in the United States, and then just being able to do whatever it is they want. And these girls are so poor, they're so destitute that they're just going for it. I think that's kind of like why a lot of men get bad raps when it comes to going out of town for hooking up.
But ain't the same thing happening in Jamaica? The brothers, they're not getting paid. They doing it. It's for free. They're getting. That's kind of like human nature. I mean, women typically wouldn't pay for sex, right? But I mean, I can kind of think of someone close to my family off the top of my head. She's an elderly woman. She definitely went to Africa and spent a lot of time in Africa and ended up marrying some young African guy.
And this woman is not attractive at all. She's older, not attractive at all. And I mean, it was definitely a situation where this young man who married her was using her. She was paying him from the United States, taking care of him, and then found out that he had a whole family, a wife, a wife and children, and the wife and children were like on board with the whole shit. So
there's some wild stuff going on. I do agree. Let me just read this quick comment. I have had a few girls trips that consists of fights, physical hangovers, a lot of drinking, and some booty calls. Like,
yeah, that's what I was saying. Most of the time, girls trips, end up with some type of drama, cattiness, fights, arguments, jealousy. It really, in my experience, it's rarely been about, okay, we're gonna go out of town and we're all gonna look so good and smell so good and get some dick. It just always ends up with, bitch, fuck you, bitch, you're a hating ass bitch, or that, and shit. I even had to switch hotels and get a whole another flight, like, because shit just went so left amongst the women that I was with. And
my man, what the fuck said a couple times, it's not always getting dick. And he said, most times it's hooking up with each other. Wow. He threw a whole nother dynamic in there. Women going on these girls' trips to have freedom to hook up with each other.
No, that I can't say. That definitely ends up happening a lot. But let me add this too.
Please add it.
I think women, when we go out of town on girls' trips, we might not necessarily be looking for, to hook up with guys for sex, but we are looking to hook up with guys to pay for dinner, maybe take us shopping, and it happens. It happens.
I bet it does.
You want to go to a 5-star restaurant, or you hang out at a really nice hotel and you end up meeting some rich guys or whatever. And then the next thing you know, it's like, you want to go to dinner? Hell yeah. You want to go shopping, or you want to go to this really nice concert, or, whatever. You want to get on the boat, you want to get on the yacht, shit like that. But specifically for dick, nah.
Well, hold up. You just said a whole lot there, and we're not just gonna walk by like you just didn't say what you just said. You just said in your previous statement, guys going to other countries to exploit women. Now you just stated whoa. You just stated a whole line of women going to other clubs and exploiting men, going to other places and exploiting men.
But see,
tell me what the difference is.
But okay, so first of all, I said I think the reason why men get a bad rap is because of the whole exploitation aspect of it. Because these women in these other countries, they're so poor, and they're just willing to do anything. And typically they use that money that they make to buy food, to pay their rent, do things of that nature. If I take a trip to Miami and I'm hanging out at a nice hotel, like let's say, what's the name of that damn hotel where that club Live is at? Is it Lowe's? I can't remember.
Fountain Blue, baby.
Fountain Blue. So if I go and I chill at the bar at Fountain Blue and I got on a really nice dress, I'm looking good, smelling good, confidence, all of that. I mean, pretty much probably somebody is going to come up and talk to me and want to have, drinks with me. And they might invite me out on a nice date. They might invite me to go out to dinner, and then I'll be like, well, I got my girls. And then they'll be like, well, that's cool, because I got my guys. And, so boom, now we're at a 5-star restaurant having dinner and champagne on his, on his dime. I'm not exploiting him. He signed up for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think men look at it as being exploited, if they treat women that are attractive. And they definitely don't look at it as being exploited if they decide to give up the draws.
Yeah, I'll concede. Go ahead, Diddy.
I don't know, because see, there's a parallel there. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's look at the dynamics. So I understand what Shannon's saying. So this man has more resources than a woman that he picks up. This woman might be in a better space financially, but the resource disposition is still the same. Someone's at a higher position who's bringing to someone who may not have the same resources, access to the yachts, access to the exclusive restaurants, and even the men, they're doing it on a lower tier for a lower woman, but they can still look at the same thing as courting. It's all for the same goal, because those guys are just not taking women out and doing all stuff they want some vagina at the end of the day. It's all a segue to something that they want, because everything is quid pro quo for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So if you look at the parallels, they're the same. It's just a different, just because this person has a little bit more establishment doesn't mean that this man is not doing the same thing to the women who are more established. It's the same thing.
Yeah, like I said, I can see that
Make
men
the
will
comparison
always.
even though. Make the comparison
Men-
even because we're
Go
doing
ahead.
is compare. If you're comparing a woman and a man who have the same financial situation going to other countries, getting basically prostitutes who are in destitute to do sexual things, and even women take advantage of that when they go out, you know, to do that. That is the same. But if you're talking about women in America who maybe are paying for their own trips and then they're going to Vegas, and there's men who are there who men like to be around women, that's a different dynamic than the woman who's going to Africa to get a man to bend over and you know, do some creepy crap. That's different. So we're going to compare the same. So if a man from Florida decided to go to Las Vegas, no, he wouldn't be a creep because he went to Las Vegas and he had a man's night out with his buddies. He'd be the same as the woman. But that's why I say, like, keep comparing the same. The women who are going out here who have money and they're trying to get dick, men, same thing. And then the women going out here getting dick, and then, you know, same thing, men, you know, whatever. That's the same. But, you know, Americans getting American vagina, we just trying to get laid. And that's just be honest. Y'all just trying to get
Hold
laid
on.
and have a good time.
Let me just concede this. What basically it comes down to two things. To one thing, both people are trying to access that person's resource, what they feel is their most valuable resource. The woman is like, this dude's gonna buy us drinks, he's gonna spend money in us, which is his resource. That's how Americans men are judged as far as value. What is your access to resources that I can't access for myself or don't want to access for myself? You know, I don't want to utilize my resources if I can use yours. And the second is, you go into somebody's country and they're attractive. That is their resource to that man, their attractiveness, their femininity, their sexual energy. That is their attractiveness. So basically it comes down to everybody wants to get that other person's access, that person's resource. Shannon, when that dude took you to dinner, he was not thinking, I just want a lovely woman by my side. He said, I'm going to show this guy, this woman, that I am a man of value, a man of means, and she's probably going to want to jump on this dick. Okay. That's what he was hoping to happen. Whether it happens or not is up to you. You have complete control, but that is the unwritten understanding.
That's the motivation. 100%.
I'm gonna invite my man up. My man, what the fuck, all coming all the way from Germany up there. What you call it? Want to add him to the show? What's up, my man? How you doing?
Hey, you guys, greetings. I got to keep it low. My kids are sleeping in the next room.
Okay, let me give you a round of applause. Give you a round of applause.
Okay. I just wanted to say quickly, I've been a career bartender all over the world in places you can just randomly name off. Every time that men go to these countries, I think so many women have the perspective that we're getting prostitutes and whatever, which, by the way, is legal in those countries and that's fine.
Yes.
But still, as an American black man, we've been like programmed on television, so globally, that when we go overseas, it's kind of like women get to have their Fresh Prince of Bel-Air crush. They get to go on the date with the American black man. They get to hang out and party with the American black man. And if you're not a complete idiot or asshole, you usually do fine. So the idea that women think that most passport bros are going over paying for sex, it's not that at all. That's the thing that so many men enjoy, is that they actually get to go overseas, be themselves, and actually then they're getting attention. Whereas in America, you have to be a facade of yourself. You have to be an overinflated version of yourself. You have to be this extra asshole that maybe you don't want to be. You have to be this flashier version of yourself. You have to have the so-called swag that so many women want to talk about. Overseas, you don't. You literally can just be yourself and still get female attention. And that's the thing that a lot of women don't understand. And that's why a lot of Black men are enjoying going to overseas, not just in these poor countries. Black men are going to Paris. Black men are going to here in Germany. Black men are going to the Netherlands and Amsterdam. Black men are going to all these other places. And most of these Black men are going there and working. Most Black women, when they travel, they only travel on resorts as vacations, as tourists, and they're coming right back. Most of the passport bros are actually going and making money and actually, in a way, putting themselves in a situation to be global versus, I think, Black women, when they do it, they just kind of, it's just a vacation.
They're feeding the economy, not just extracting resources. They're feeding back into the economy.
Well, like I said, a lot of my girls' trips was about business. Definitely. So
Are you over 35?
yes, I am.
Okay. I mean, I think it's just a different time. I think
She looks great for her age, doesn't she?
she looks great, period. I
She's okay in general.
I think everything that we did as Black men in the 90s, I think Black women started to pick up in the 2000s. So with you being in that age bracket, I think Black women from 2000s and up, they've taken on the hyper math, like they've taken that. So trust and believe, I've seen the girls' trips, I've seen the bachelorette parties. Everything that y'all complain about men doing, y'all doing worse. Y'all really are.
Yeah,
like I said, I don't doubt it, but me personally, I really don't take a lot of girls' trips, and the ones that I have, I don't know if
Have
you
you
heard.
ever spoken to any female friends about girls' trips? Outside of you, because I think I'm gonna break down this blood oath you took. You got secrets.
No. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of like the wrong person to ask about it, because I'm one of those women that really don't roll with a lot of women. I kind of a loner. Just to give you a little bit of background, I was a dancer, an exotic dancer for 10 plus years. So anytime that I ever went out of town with other women, it was always business. Those bonds were about business. And like I stated earlier, usually it would end up, there would be fights amongst us. The banging was amongst us.
I have to interrupt. You said you're an exotic dancer.
Well, hold up.
You brought up.
Hold on. Whoa. I'm just want to just lay down some ground rules.
Mm-hmm.
We do not interrupt. We just let the person finish their point, and then you can jump in. And you definitely don't interrupt the co-host. Shannon's the co-host of this thing. This is her shit too. So you definitely don't interrupt Shannon. There you go.
She got the mute button power. But okay. Gotcha.
No, I used to be a dancer. I'm a former dancer. So, and I'm one of those women, I guess maybe I'm rare, but I'm one of those women who I really don't have a lot of girlfriends. I don't roll with women like that. And so the only experiences that I could pull from would be the years that I spent dancing. And anytime that I went out of town with other girls, it was always about business. And, in my experience, it usually would be situations where we would end up fighting with each other or being jealous or, having issues with each other. Hooking up with men was never, it was never the goal. But like I just stated, there would be times where, of course, we're out there making money, we looking good, smelling good, feeling good. We got our own money. But, if we're hanging out somewhere, whether it be the beach, the bar, hotels, men would approach us. And then the next thing where dinner's being paid for, bottles of champagne is being paid for. We're being invited on yachts. And, of course, as a woman, what men are looking for. But that's not what we were looking for. And, I don't know if you know anything about dancers, strippers. They don't need men to pay for shit, but we're not going to turn it down either. That's just human nature. Just like men aren't going to turn down pussy, whether it looks good or not. Women were typically not going to turn down the opportunity to, eat and drink for free. And that's just how it is.
There you go.
But we don't got to go out of town. I don't have to go out of town and search for that. That's going to happen regardless. But if I go out of town, trust me, I got my own money. I got my own room. Tickets, round trip ticket is in my name, you know.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. It's all yours. Floor is yours, my brother.
Okay. Again, the very first thing that you stated was how you don't like the idea of these men going to these places and maybe, because they're poor women or things like that. And what you're saying right here is kind of hilarious because you'll go to these places, you have your own money, and not now. I get it. This is the old you. It's not you anymore. But it's not speaking about you. I'm speaking about the mentality. You'll go to these places with your own money, but you're absolutely happy to have men spend their money on you, even if you're not interested. So what's the difference between men going to these other places and doing the same thing? You'll use a man's money to have your good time, even though you have your own. Fine. But you're playing on men's emotions because you think, well, these men want to have sex. So what's the difference between men going overseas where they can actually get sex instead of being finessed? And that's the thing. What she was speaking about, that's part of the game. That's the finesse. I'm going to possibly maybe think you might get laid and you're going to pay for dinner. You're going to pay for drinks. Whereas if you do that overseas, you're not getting finessed. And that's what men are walking away from, the finesse game. And you're not doing it to be malicious. I get that. And I don't think a lot of women are trying to be malicious about it. But that's the game in America. It's a complete finesse. And men are expected to spend money and spend money and spend money until the woman maybe, okay, I'll give him some. Overseas, you don't have to do that. You can be yourself and still get some. That's the difference.
All right. So hold on. Now, what is it? What's called? And I appreciate you. I'll let you talk after me. You interrupted me now, Shannon.
Because I want to say something real quick.
And you
if
will.
You're gonna quote me. Don't put words in my mouth because I never said that I was upset or mad about anything.
Yeah,
See, I don't say that. If you're gonna quote me,
the first thing you brought up.
All right.
That's all.
Okay. So
yeah, but you said I had a problem with. I don't have a problem with that because it doesn't pertain to me. So if you're gonna quote what I say, quote what I say. That's all.
Okay. Hold on.
But what did you say? You said
hold on.
Say what I said.
This is.
And you said I had a problem.
Shannon, I'm asking you to stop. Hey,
I just brought
my
up
brother.
the point.
I am going to drop you back down because this is going to another situation. You can feel free to hang out in the chat if you want to, but I'm going to drop you down.
I wasn't trying to ruin the show. I was okay.
It's all good, brother.
No, you good. You good. I just had to correct him. Don't quote me if you're not going to quote me correctly because I never said that I was upset or had a problem with anything.
All right.
Correction.
So, okay. I get it because what happened was we took it from Girls Trip to Passport Bros, and I was just wanted to make a brief comparison and contrast.
And then he made it racial.
What's called it? I don't even want to get into. I didn't pick up on that.
You didn't hear him mention black men and black women several times.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's stay on topic. That's my job to bring us back to on topic. Okay. All right,
Damien, you know my mouth. I don't play that. I do not.
I know you don't, and I don't. And like I said, and what you call it, people need to respect you. You're the co-host of this shit, so you get your voice is louder than anybody else. So you good. You good, and he's good. He's good. He wasn't disrespectful. It was probably the most respectful disapproval that what you call it. So.
He was. I just asked that if you're going to quote what I say, quote what I say. Don't put words in my mouth. Don't tell me that I'm upset about something or that I have a problem with something.
Okay. Shannon, let's move on. Let's move on. Okay.
I'm a black woman. Okay. I'm black.
What's called? Let's move on.
Before you run away from that, can I mention something just to be helpful? I think that would help. Just be real positive. I'm a positive lady. You know what I was trying to say is that I think
Aliana.
I try. What happens is a lot of times we're kind of trying to compare people to the experience they personally have. And Shannon, I'll be honest, I don't say it a lot, but I've been a dancer myself. So I understand because when you're in a dancer mindset, you're on your job. And your job is to make money and to please your customer. So when you're asking a person who's saying as a dancer, I experienced this. You're asking me what I experienced during my job. Now, if she was not on her job, would she have done the same thing? Maybe not. So the context of where he was taking his information also was not probably where he could have paired it. I think that would have helped if he stopped saying, he was thinking, okay, well, women and men are supposed to expect to give money. But in that profession, you're expected to pay for a service, and the service is being next to me. And this is the service you get, and you pay for that service.
All right.
And that's it.
But
So I'm just
the
saying
thing
that
is,
Hey, I don't want this to. I don't want this to be the. I don't want Shannon. I don't want him to be the focus of this thing. We have a whole topic. We got some more
well, I
topics.
just
So
want to make sure that people
no,
don't
no,
confuse the
Shannon,
two. Like just
Shannon,
because I
ain't no-
go out of
Shannon,
town on a
Shannon.
business trip doesn't mean that I expect every man
Shannon,
to pay for
Shannon,
my shit. It's
uh,
just
Shannon,
it's
we
gonna
know you
happen
good.
regardless.
You got
all
it. You
right,
got. We
come
got
on
you.
now. We got you. Everybody,
I got-
everybody on this panel get that. Nobody's thinking that. You know, somebody you don't know
I
may
just
think
wanted to
it,
make
but
sure.
you know.
I
So
just
you
wanted to make
good.
sure I'm not a dancer
You good.
anymore. But trust me, if I go
Shannon.
out of town next week, they're still gonna flock to me and pay for my shit. Period.
Shannon, do come on. I need you. Come on now. I need you to come on, get right with this. Come on.
You got it,
All
Shannon. You
right.
got it.
We got you. All right. Damn.
I wore the right
All
color
right.
shirt today. It's hot in here.
Man. So moving on. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
So the next thing I want to talk about necessarily, because we talked about like both women deciding they're gonna make a conscious effort to go down tourism, whatever, sexual tourism in these countries like Jamaica, Dominican Republic, where we talked about the women who go down there who are just open to shit happen and who would like it to be a part of the experience or what have you, but that's not their main focus or what have you. Now we're going to talk about a different dynamic when it comes to these girls trip. And this is what we see the most of. This is the most current situation when it comes to when we talk about girls trip. A rich dude flying out a girl and she bringing her girlfriends and you know what's on the menu going down. You know the dude, at least somebody at some point is giving up something to that rich dude and his friends. So he says, I reach out to you on Instagram, social media, whatever you, and he says, you're amazing. I want you to come out to the United Arab Emirates for a week. And I want you to bring 5 of your friends. You'll get 10 grand. They'll get 5 grand to come and hang out. It's all up to you what goes on there. I mean, see, but a lot of women will consider it not prostitution because they'll just
it's receiving money for sexual activity.
Okay. So, is that what are our thoughts on that type of girls trip? Because that seems to be really prevalent on social media. Like you'll see all these chicks in like these exotic locales with their girls, but you never see a dude. I mean, and I'm not that saying that women couldn't go by themselves and do this, not to say that women couldn't do it themselves, but you look at their other pages and like you see how they're living in like studios and what have you, and they're taking these trips that are easily $10,000, $20,000 trips. And so you know what's going on. You know, why is it that is that being accepted more than it ever has? Is that something that's is the woman going to the guy to get flued out? Is that something that is being accepted as the norm when it comes to girls trips? I'm gonna go to you, Diddy, first, since you've been kind of chilling.
No, that's a big one, man. My friends on Rolling Nose. Shannon, I'm so cracking up. I'm looking at the private chat. Well, I love you. You be on fire. Anyway, listen. I mean, the writing's on the wall, man. It's like the elephants in the room. Everybody see it. It's pink with flashing lights on it. We know what it is, but it's like unspoken. And there's a close parallel between prostitution and dating. It's damn near in the same boat. The only difference is a contractual agreement at the end. One person knows the end result. The other person is a black hole of resources being sucked down into in hope of. I think that's what he was trying to say in some ways. But we know what time it is, man. You know what's going on because the MO is the same either way it go. Rich man, poor man, men in general are, if they're heterosexual, are looking for vagina and they're gonna use whatever angle they can to get it, whether it's money, resource, or power. That's what's gonna happen. If these women know these things, coming into the fold. If you go into something believing that you're gonna get something for nothing, we know that's not true. You know what I'm saying? And they girls was going on for the ride. In fact, some of them girls coach it up. I remember when Shannon was saying earlier, she was talking about like how she could be sitting at the bar and like a guy would approach her, and then she would say, you know, I got my girls with me. Automatically, I know the position of her team. She's the bait. She probably the baddest one of her team. So you put her up front. She the one to get you in the section half the time. You know what I'm saying? The coldest dude gonna pick her, and then she might have some cool girls with you that might not be the coldest, but they don't get pulled into the circle off the bait. When I used to go to CIAA, this happened all the time. CIAA is the beginning of March. It's freezing outside, so the sections is popular. Guess what happens? The dope boys or whoever got that big bag, they see the bad girl in line. She freezing. He picked the baddest one to be in the section with him, and guess what happened? Here come the other gremlins coming with her. You know what I'm saying? She is the bait. That's how it works. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, you know what time it is.
The question is, do we take that international? Does the Dubai millionaire, billionaire, do we do that same thing? Or is that just a local flex?
Yes, because but listen, they just play on a bigger level, Dane. It's the same goal. Because if you playing with that kind of money, you putting up a $20,000 trip and you playing like that, you got a bag that's crazy. That's nothing to you. That's like, you know how like rappers talk about buying girls Birkin bags, like it's nothing to a regular person. That's a lot of money. But for them, it's a small token to invest in a woman for a desired result. It's the same thing.
Okay. What are you thinking about this? First of all, I want to give a shout out to one of our favorite panelists. Miss Amy Johnson said, Miss Polly was right. That's prostitution. We miss you on the panel. Next time.
Yes.
All right. Miss Polly.
Yes, dear. It's prostitution.
I want to hear your point.
I'm gonna be honest. Like you said, the elephants in the room. Stop bullshit. Let's stop trying to say things are cute and they're not. It's prostitution. I wish it wasn't that, but if you're gonna say what it is, at least stand. If you're doing it, just stand and stand on what you're doing. Like you said, if you used to dance, stand on, say, yeah, that's just what it was, But what you're doing is you're trying to get resources by giving someone your obviously what they want is sexual. When it comes to, I think, society wise though, men who are complaining that they feel like they're being victimized by it, I don't have sympathy that much because it's not your fault, but the roles are basically you're supposed to provide, and for the providing is looked at as attractive. So if money's one of those things you provide, as a man to a woman, men are giving this out because they want to be seen as attractive, regardless of what the intent is, if it's dating long term or just for a short time notice, point. They are still using their resources to get what they want. And so you can't say, oh, pity me because I had to spend all this money on a trip for a girl to come here and she didn't give me what I want. I don't feel sorry for you, because in the same light, you knew your resources would get you something. Now, if you didn't get it, that's unfortunate. That's what sucks about being in a situation where you're in conditional love. Everyone's looking for conditional relationships. That's a condition. As long as he's providing that condition, you're able to do whatever you're going to do. And unfortunately, this is a form of prostitution. I wish it wasn't true, but that's what it is. And I'll be honest, in the Midwest, it's just known. Prostitution is like nothing. I've heard women around me, which blows my mind, because I'm just like Shannon. I don't mess around with a lot of women. I'm really like hang around guys a lot. And I hear it's like, I've heard people be like, oh yeah, I prostituted like it was, they went to breakfast. It's weird. But now the culture is accepting prostitution as it's a normal activity. Oh, well, they're going to give me the money anyway if we went on a date, but there's intent there. He's investing in something long term. But now they've taken that idea that someone's investing in you and using it for just a quick transaction. So I don't agree with the means of doing it, but I mean, I could see how our culture is making it an okay thing to receive gifts and all these things for sexual acts. which is still prostitution. And I wouldn't be surprised if someone in one of these states put a law on it. If you get so much in gifts and you're laying down, you gonna get fined because they're gonna try to tax it. They'll know the Bunny Ranch exists, right?
You
Bunny
sugar
Ranch-
daddies, watch out.
Don't get caught up. Your money ain't right. But I'm just saying it happens. So I mean, I don't want anyone to feel like we're like calling you a hoe. But if you're able to say, I need a bag, and I'm willing to let you get on top of me, regardless of what you look like, to get that, or I'm going to give you the illusion, you're still doing a transaction. And if it's sexual, then that's prostitution. If you're a stripper, it's just, you're getting paid to have that girlfriend experience or whatever experience. And like I said, I've danced. I get it. It's a transaction. Not everybody gets that other part of you when you walk out the door, but it's still a transaction and you should know what it is. Don't bullshit and say, oh, that's not what it is. They would have did that for me on a date. He was not going to give you $300 to sit next to him on a date and think he's never going to see you again. That's not what they do. That's just not normal activity, So, it's prostitution. I mean, at the very worst, it's prostitution. But yeah,
Miss Amy says, if that's your life, if that's the life you choose, that's your business. These men and women know what they're doing when it comes to strips, both men and women. It's okay. So I want to ask a question. Because of that being kind of like a normal situation, when guys, has that put a stigma on girls going on trips, especially trips out of the country? Because I was on a panel and the guys were like, how many of you would let your girl go on a girl's trip? And I was shocked. Like 80% of the guys were like, nope, she ain't going on a girl's trip. Nope, it's not going to happen. I'm not letting it happen. Nope, not this cat. And I was like, why not? Of course I would let my wife go on a girl's trip. No hesitation or whatever, It was like, has that fact that you just said, where a lot of girls are like, taking these trips and are hooking up with men for financial gain, or you may be going with that one friend who's like financing the whole thing. Like the rich guy says, hey, meet me in Turks and Caicos and bring 4 of your friends and I'll pay for everybody, Has that kind of stigmatized girls trip to where men are like, I ain't fucking with it and you ain't fucking with it as my woman? Do you feel that that's possibly what has happened currently? Go ahead, either one.
The movies themselves. You've seen the movie. Sorry, Shannon. I can't really see you guys moving. If you want to talk, that's okay. Did you want to go first?
Go ahead. You can go, Miss Polly.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Okay. No, I do think like the movies like Girls Trip and there's what's the other movie? It was like you get like a one night to go do whatever you wanted to do.
Hall Pass.
Hall Pass. Yeah. Things like that.
Yeah.
I think those movies kind of shine a light on those situations, and now people are like scared to trust people to go out and be honest, and that's unfortunate because they like opened their eyes to something that was already happening. So I think those kind of movies and things like that, those are kind of freaking people out. But I'm honestly, it was always happening. It just wasn't, someone didn't throw it in your face. And like I said, social media and stuff is just showing people little taste of what's really happening in the back, in the back scenes of relationships. And it's really pushing people to have to be a little bit more honest. And that they have to be more honest. And then that's what I think it's coming to. People have to start changing how they work with people, how they deal with stuff.
All right. What do you have to say about that, Shannon?
I mean, I think if a guy says, no, I don't want my girl to go on a girl's trip, it's probably because he has some insecurities about himself and or the relationship, and things that may have transpired in the past. Because I mean, you should assume that if you're girlfriend or your wife is going out of town with her friends, that is just innocent fun. You know, I mean, and I think it's kind of childish and stupid to let movies, you know, things that are, you know, fictitious stories, shape the way you think about real life. I mean,
But or is it just about the movies, or is it about what they're just being inundated with, these chicks going to these foreign countries or going to these exotic locales, you know, and all of a sudden they're having this amazing time that their real life is not showing that they should be able to support doing that. And a lot of times they are a lot like these cats are, if they have enough money, are allowing their women to bring 3 and 4 friends. And that's where Jazz was like, where these men at? I can bring more, you know? So that's what I was like, kind of going for. Is like, you know, is it okay that a man is wary about like girls trips now because of how the social media portrays what actually happens on girls trips?
no, I feel like, you know, a man definitely has the right to feel how he feels, but he should also sit back and examine the reason why he feels the way he feels. And I think that most men, well, I'll just say a lot of men, they go into relationships and marriages already insecure about themselves or about something that has transpired between him and his woman in the past. And so automatically when she says, I'm going on a girls trip, it's like, red flag, you know? But I can totally understand, like, if a husband or if a wife says, hey, I'm going out of town with, you know, my girl Chelsea, and you know, her boyfriend is totally funding the entire trip. I mean, I could totally understand the husband in that situation feeling like, okay, wait a minute, like, why is he trying to pay for her and you? Like, what does he expect? But I mean, just a girls trip in general, for the man to feel like, red flag. I think that he should examine, you know, himself and his relationship. Like, why is he feeling that way?
Okay, what you got to say about it, Diddy?
You know, man, I think I'm with Shan on this one. I personally don't, because I don't want to hold someone to a standard I can't live by. I don't even want to be with somebody like that, man. Like, I don't want to control. Look, I got out of being that kind of person a long time ago, trying to control what a woman does. It's just too much bandwidth, man. I don't have the mental capacity to worry about what you're gonna do. If you're gonna do something wrong, you ain't got to go 1,000 miles and go do something wrong. You can do it in my backyard. You know what I'm saying? I personally will worry about you at work more than I worry about you on a trip, to be honest, because people spend more time at their job, and it's more BS that happen at work under those, as I call it, secure hours than any other time in the whole day. So I'm not gonna worry about that, man. Look, if you do something I don't know about it, that's between you and your God. You got to give an account for that. I ain't got to worry about it. That's just how I look at it.
Gotcha.
I just like my peace, bro. That's it.
Yeah,
And see, that's how a man who is secure within himself is going to move. See, he's secure within himself, and he knows that he ain't got time to be trying to keep because, yeah, like what you said, Diddy, is 1,000% true. It's the men at the job that you gotta be worried about.
Right, because he eardrums out every day. You have a problem with her, he go to work, she confide in him. He knows her moves because he's spending more time with your woman in the day in the prime hours than you spend with your wife because y'all working and balancing the household, I would think. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen more stuff happen at work and then you have, you know, I've seen company parties in the past where it's so much going on in the office, and those people walk right in, you'd be like, wow, if you only knew what I knew, y'all would walk home together today. But, you know, it is what it is. Ain't got to be done with, ain't got nothing to do with no trip. Just tell them the truth.
Right. You know, that I think before, I agree with you guys. This is the funniest thing. It's going to sound so simple, but no one is going to listen to what I say. I promise you. Why would you be with someone that you can't trust to go away out of your sight? Why would you stay with him? Why are you with him? If you don't trust them that much, why? That baffles me. You don't trust them to walk down the street. You don't trust them to go. If you are so consumed and obsessed with every movement they make because you think they're going to screw you over, you have no business with that person.
Yeah,
Your
there's
life is
a
not consumed with stress.
there's a lot
Why?
there's a lot of cats out there who have become insecure. Like when they first got with their woman, they felt like they had this false sense of bravado that they thought, okay, I saw how she moved when I first got her. Yeah, I met her out on vacation. I met her at the club. There was drinks involved. She was easy to get. I fell in love with her. I'm not, maybe I'm insecure thinking some other cat may have that same experience. There may be somebody taller, buffer, in better shape. We've been arguing lately. And you might be at the club and that same experience could happen all over again because you've shown me you open to like flirt and drink and dance and twerk on a dude and all that kind of stuff. Maybe I'm just sitting there thinking, we ain't been getting along, and I know this dude might be giving you the attention that you crave. Just like I said earlier, like from Eddie Murphy's show, a stand-up show, Dexter St. Jock and Croy's come in wearing his dick like a scarf, just coming in like all like in your face, like giving you all this stuff, all the attention that you wanted. You may slip up.
Right.
That's what a man could be thinking.
Right. Now, I will say, because I'm poly, I go on a whole bunch of dates if I want to. Okay. And the thing is, with my partners, they have dealt with that. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen the process over and over again. But the thing is, which I have told them multiple times, when they say, well, sometimes, I see you have being so excited when you talk about going out on this date, or you come back and you look so excited. And I say, why do you think you're here? If you don't see that I value you and I want you here, because you clearly know I have other options. If I didn't deem you special enough to be here with me, you wouldn't be. So why do you doubt yourself so much? Because I actually have the opportunity to go and find someone else and remove you if I want to. So the thing is, it's not a mean statement. It's to make you feel more secure in what you are. You should know that I think you are up here. So even if I found someone that made me giggle, so you make me giggle. I want to be here with you also. So when you fight with those things, you got to really think about that also. And if you're that insecure with someone, there's something else going on. Like Shannon was saying, you might be thinking about yourself, your insecurities. Like I'm not a jealous person. I love to see my partners be loved by others. It like makes me feel so delighted. And the reason why is because I want my partners to be loved, just point blank. And if someone else can love them like I can love them, then that makes me happy. I want them to experience that love from whoever. As long as you're doing it right, I don't have no problem because I want my partner to be happy. So I don't get upset if someone else is giving them joy. I want them to go to work and be happy. I want them to experience great things. And when I remove that because, it's not with me, not everything has to be with me. I'm not perfect. There's somebody else who knows something I don't know, and they like to hear it from them. Go experience that. I hope you have a great day. Why am I upset? I'm here for a reason.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I got to get at that.
Know your place with your partner. I guess what I'm saying, know your place with your partner. And if you don't feel valued or good enough, you probably may not want to be with them.
And that's what I was thinking.
You might not be the one for them because you got them because they were in a place of disarray and confusion. And now you didn't knock her up and she got this baby. She don't want to be with you anyway. She probably going to leave anyway. You might as well just let her go and find the one for you. You just wasted time.
I heard that. And that's what I wanted to tackle. And you said it that hit the nail on the head. It's like, it's great to be, secure in yourself, but you also got to be secure in your partner. Make sure you got to realize that you pick right. If like you said, if you pick the kind of person who can be swayed by some bullshit, superficial shit, or some temporary shit, you picked wrong. And she may be doing you a favor by hooking up because it gives you an excuse to get the fuck up out of there and still look like the good guy because she fucked up, because she's, so it's a win-win. You dodged the bullet if you ain't got like super enmeshed in the relationship, no kids, no property, no nothing. If you can get out there cheap, do it. Well, this has been a great show. I want to do one thing though, because the girls from Creating Anarchy, they put in a chat, a comment saying about Dab Circle, and I got to give some context to that. And I want to just show a video. We were on Jen's. I was on Jen's podcast, and she was talking about and the subject of like giving guys advice or whatever on things when it comes to like women and stuff like that. And the subject of oral sex came in, and she asked this one guy, does he have a go-to technique? And it was just comedy gold. So let me play it for you guys right now. What you call it? Now, shout out to On the Block with Jen. And hold on a second. So let me share my screen. All right. And all right. Here it is. Prepare yourself for some comedy gold.
Clue, what about you?
Dab, and then circle. Dab, circle. If you do that, you can't go wrong.
I don't know if it's a liquor or what, but that was hilarious.
Dab, circle.
Circle.
Dab right in the middle of the clit. Dab the clit, and then circle around the clit. Dab the clit, dab the clit, circle around the clit.
I'm telling you something. The two women who have been in relationships with women are laughing right now, and you got to ask them why.
Why they
my man really said, "I'm gonna stab the clitoris, yo." My man really said that.
We asked him the main questions tonight. Don't be putting us on the spot.
Okay. Jabari.
Good results from that.
Okay, we got dab, circle for anybody that wants to take notes.
You said, "I'm gonna stab the clitoris."
Oh, wait, you got dab,
circle. Okay.
Now that was the best. That was the best. I mean, it was hilarious. Oh boy was coming with some shit that I had. He just had us cracking up the whole time. It was good shit. So if y'all might want to go watch that show because it was crazy. So with that being said, I just had to end it on some levity real quick. With that being said, I just want to thank you guys for jumping on. It's amazing to have you guys. I really appreciate all of you. So this is definitely my my favorite thing to do is to hang out with you guys. Wait a second. There we go. With some applause for you guys. All right. So with that being said, we are here every Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Like and subscribe. If you are Ninja watching and haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And you need to follow all these people. If y'all want to shout out, do y'all want these people following you on IG? Miss Shannon, give them your IG. Maybe we should just put it in the back channel. What is the IG so they can follow you? And you got a great workout page on IG. What is that?
You know what's so weird? When people ask me what my IG is, I can never remember.
You muted still.
I'm not muted. Can you hear me?
That's fine.
No, I was just saying whenever people ask me what's my IG, I can never remember it. It's at same 24 hours. I think at same _24. We don't have to just put it in the damn comment box or whatever. Because I can never remember exactly how it goes. Huh?
What do you do on there? Because I'm trying to get fit for the winter. Because I don't want to look like a potato in my winter coat.
So I am Miss Polly. Yeah, so I
Miss Polly, if you could hang out for a little bit for the back chat, I want to ask you something, go over something with you. If you could hang out, don't just jump off. So I'm just gonna dismiss the class, as Jen would say. And I just want to thank everybody again, and we will see you next week.
Hey, dang, hold up. I think Shannon was making a point before you cut. Like, I don't know if your internet lag. She was saying something.
Oh, what did she say?
She was finishing up her business.